Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with They Gave the Premiere and Made Recordings. This is a really exciting series for me because we get to hear a lot of, first of all, contemporary music because nobody who gave a premiere in 1732 was around to make recordings, and also because we get to cover some really classic performances that have an unimpeachable provenance. I mean, sometimes the recordings are lousy, I suppose, but I'm only picking good ones, at least so far. Maybe we'll find some duds. And we're talking about Shostakovich Symphony No. 8, which was premiered by the Leningard Philharmonic under Yevgeny Mravinsky back in 1940-something. Maybe the notes tell us here what's going on. Here we go. Let's see, 1943 he wrote it, and it was premiered. Yes, in 1943 on November 4th. Mravinsky was not conducting, however, the Leningard Symphony. He gave the first performance with the USSR State Symphony. But here he is in Leningrad, which is a much better orchestra. And wow, oh wow, oh wow. I mean, what a performance this is. Now, Mravinsky was kind of like Furtwängler. He didn't like to make recordings. He didn't make studio recordings, very few. Only like the Tchaikovsky symphonies, those 4, 5, 6, and maybe one or two other things. Everything else was live, which means you have to put up with, and melodia on top of it. So you have to put up with horrifying sonics, mostly mono, with audience noises and all kinds of stuff going on. And it's hard to nail down his legacy. And of course, like Furtwängler's recordings, many of them were pirated or were public domain, or someone recorded it from, a tape recorder with a mic up their sleeve or something. And so they sound horrible. And there's this sort of contest to see who has the best transfers. And that's true of this performance too, which comes from 1982. Happily, it comes from 1982, which means the sound is going to be pretty good, hopefully. And it is. It's very, very good. It's nothing wrong with the sonics. And 82 was late Mravinsky. And toward the end of his career, he started to sort of let go of his famed insane discipline over the Leningard Phil. And performances could be a bit slack and sloppy. But that's not the case here. They really pulled themselves together to give a dynamite performance of this symphony. And best of all, this is the version on Alto, on the Alto label, which means that it has been, or what they say, it has been pitch corrected. Because, and this is one of the, folklore businesses, pieces of info in the Shostakovich discography. The original release of this was on Philips. Philips got their hands on it somehow, and they released it half a tone sharp. So the symphony was not in C minor, it was in C sharp minor. I never noticed. I don't have like perfect pitch or anything like that. It sounded fine to me. But this apparently has been corrected so that it's the pitch it's supposed to be at, which means actually it's going to take a little bit longer because the pitch is a tad lower, which means the tempi are going to be a little bit extended somehow. I don't know. 2 seconds. Who knows? So anyway, here we have it. Now, the Eighth Symphony was not the most obvious choice, I think, for Mravinsky because he did a lot of Shostakovich premieres and recorded a considerable amount. His relationship with Shostakovich was a little bit fraught towards the end because he refused to give the premiere of Symphony No. 13. Bobby Yar, probably bowing to political pressure, which was an act of cowardice on his part. But then again, he was the absolute dictator of one of the great orchestras in the world, and he was not jeopardizing that, not for anything. So we have to go back. And so I wanted to pick a Shostakovich symphony that was one of the more controversial ones, as the Eighth was, because it was supposed to be a victory over the Nazi symphony, and it turned out to be a tragic, powerful, uneasy, unsteady piece that ends in the most troubled, fragile calm that you could possibly imagine. So yes, it is still controversial, Shostakovich, but the cats are going nuts. But this is an absolutely magnificent performance that on the Alto label, like I said, at least currently at correct pitch, and you just can't argue with the authority, the intensity, the sound of the string sections, the discipline of the orchestra, it's all extraordinary. One of the great records of anything. So, I mean, the fact that it's Shostakovich's eighth is a bonus. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Sorry for the voice. Take care.